So welcome, please, Reggie.
Whoever wrote that, I owe them a drink after. That was great. Thanks, Heidi. So my name is Reggie Black. I'm originally from Washington, D.C. So if I happen to suck tonight, you guys can't kick me out and tell me to go home. All right.
Can we start?
Sure. Let's start for it. So my work connects the connection between art and the human responsibility. And I've spent a lot of my time focusing on redefining the way that we define art. For quite some time now, this was the way that art was displayed. We all interact with art in this format. Oh, sorry. Oh, I'm sorry. So this was the way for a very long time that we interacted with art. We're good now. Awesome. And during this time, you showed up, artists had to create it, and they had to figure out a way to show it. People went to galleries, they formed opinions about it, they judged it, they talked amongst their peers, and they created their own opinions about it. This was the only way artists could get their work into the world. Until Andy Warhol, Ai Weiwei in China, Andy Warhol in New York, they kind of redefined the way that we started to view art, the way that we interacted with art. But until then, people formed at exhibitions, fairs, galleries to decide what art they were going to carry for the artists. This was the only way the artists had an opportunity to get their work to the world. This is an image of an artist who definitely inspired by Chantal Martin from Brooklyn, New York. Her stream of conscious designs really focus on integrating humans and interacting with art in public spaces. This is just she did a yoga exercise and the art is behind her. This image is the image of a local farmer from Colombia, a good friend of mine, Shamel Edwards. She goes by the coffee photographer. She travels the world documenting coffee culture through the eyes of the people that actually grow the coffee and tell the stories of untold heroes that really move the specialty coffee industry. This is the work of JR, one of my huge inspirations. He uses his huge photography and public space to tell the stories of racial inequality, social inequality, and share it with the world that the media kind of sometimes distorts. This picture's in the Palestinians. All right. This is my art. I had coffee with a friend about 4 years ago who said, Reggie, I need you to figure out a way to say something to the world. You know, you always have ideas, you need to figure out a way to say something to the world. I didn't want it to be blogging, I didn't want it to connect online, so I decided to pick up a Sharpie and a Post-it note, and I decided to start writing stickies. This project is called Sticky Inspiration. For the past 5 years, every day I write a Post-it note and I leave it somewhere in the world, and the goal is to inspire one person a day through a random act of kindness. I started to distribute strictly mysterious. If someone finds it, they find it. Then I thought more people need to see it, so I started sharing it on social media. Instagram primarily has been like a huge distribution channel for my art. But I knew that there was more. I always wanted to do more with the work because this has to transform into real life and bring human interaction. About a year ago, when I was living in DC, we had an idea to do an exhibition. We kept getting no's from all the galleries. No one wanted me to write on the walls. My wife looked at me one night and said, let's do it at our house. So we converted a 3-level house to an art exhibition. We kickstarted the funds. Over 220 people came out, and we had an amazing exhibition on our own permission. This is some of the results. As you can see, I wrote all over the wall. At first, she wasn't really happy about that, but we got through. She's right there too, so Jonah. But and we did this through Kickstarter. 225 people came out. We did it as a 30-hour pop-up exhibition. This is an image of people engaging in the activity. The gentleman in the middle is a good friend of mine, John, who helped me curate the exhibition. So it was a really interactive process. We had a documentary film playing that we documented everything on an iPhone so people could see the entire process, the way that we went to get the wood, paint, everything from start to finish. Fast forward a year. This is at Ink and Lion Cafe, Ekamaisoy 2. I recently had an exhibition here. March 28th, and ran for about 6 weeks. This is us preparing before opening night. Kay and a couple of the other guys that work at the coffee shop will help me install. So my art is really based on an inclusive opportunity for everyone. Normally when you go to galleries, you go there and look at the artist's work and you leave. But I always like to focus on having people be a part of it. So I install this community wall where people can create art and not only come to see my art, but also articulate themselves. This is some people at the opening night interacting with my art. My art is usually focused on thought-provoking ideas and thoughts to really channel human emotion and get us to start thinking about our own feelings. Because normally it's like this whole weird thing that if you say what you really mean, you are like a radical or something. So during the opening night, I did a live presentation where I kind of used the environment and used the vibe of the crowd, for lack of better terms, and I started to just use quotes that would inspire the crowd. This is a few people interacting with it, with the crowd, with the work. This is my latest work. If you guys are ever at BACC, I have a public wall in Gallery Drip. It's on the bottom floor, and this is just an action shot of me doing the work. This is after they allowed me to put this in their space, after they renovated their new location. And these guys were so amazing to me when I first arrived here in Bangkok a year ago. They kind of rolled out the red carpet and started telling me where to go, what to do. And this is just an image of them in me, of course. Now we can all continue to complain about how art is separate and how it has this elitist vibe to it, if you will. But if we can collectively come together and create a new world and redefine what art means for everyone by playing our roles one at a time, I think we can build a better world with art and creating things with what we have at this exact moment.